This is my official message to the cast of season 37 of The Amazing Race. I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. How dare you? Never in my life have I yelled at 4 teams like this. Learn something from this. Remember angry intro from Survivor, Jack?
Yeah.
This is angry intro for Amazing Race. Hello. Welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we angrily give the real and tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm angry, if you couldn't tell. Anger. And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. But only one, because I'm angry. I have 3 drinks because I'm angry. No, just because I have 3 drinks. I have water, of course, as always. I have lemonade protein powder in drink form because sure. And then I have a Diet Coke, or not Diet Coke, Coke Zero from Quiznos because I ordered Quiznos because it sounded really good. But what I also have is a cup mug. Oh my god, and we all do. Oh, I don't have cool lights like Lana. I just have lights in my background. But you could get your cup mug and all of our other merch angrily at lanagcreations.etsy.com. Link is in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America and internationally angrily, so there are no excuses. Anger. Get your merch.
And if you use code ANGER at checkout, it's not going to be recognized as a real code. But like, you can do it. It's fun.
I mean, Lana, if you're listening to this back, if you want to include code ANGER, feel free. But like,
you get a penny.
Maybe. Anger.
Hello. My name is Jack. I'm the resident game designer of the panel. And I had to accept the draft last round. Just like, yeah, no, let me draft this team that I'm really liking that no one touched for some reason. And Apollo looks on from above and says, I'm gonna fuck you up.
I mean, okay, to be fair, it's not like we're getting points in the draft. It's last man standing.
Yeah, but
so
my pride, my everything.
I know, honey,
like I literally texted someone who is close to Scott Lord and like, wow, they're fucking machines. They're killing it. And I had to text them later and say, I'm sorry. I have so many bones to pick with this episode in particular. I just have water.
Oh.
I just have water.
Well, it's your boy KaMorian, sparkling alien here. Trying to keep the positive vibe and not trying to get triggered by that one person's name. And I hope we had to keep on naming his name the entire recording. I have my Stitch right here to keep me comfort. Yeah, I have some ice in the cup. Yeah, and as long as we don't say his name, I won't go psycho.
Okay, got it.
I'm going to be honest, that might be a little bit of a challenge.
Just a bit, darling, just a bit.
We'll try.
Oh, goodness gracious. What an episode 5.
Oh, wow.
Survivor and Amazing Race giving iconic episode 5s. These current seasons. I mean, episode 5 is where it's at. I
guess.
If you're a CBS reality TV show this year, episode 5 is where to be.
Oh, wow.
Wait, okay. What episode? I'm trying to remember now because I think the Challenge All-Stars, it was either episode 5 or episode 6 where things actually began to happen. No, it was episode 5.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.
What is it with episode 5 during?
What was episode 5 of Drag Race?
Artie are live
Now-
where Lydia won. Artie pulled the last plunger.
What the fuck? No.
Baby,
was-
if it's an episode 5, wait, was it?
Wait, what was Traders US 4? What was that? No, it's 3.
Was that
not
Bob?
4.
Wait, hold on.
God,
I'm
no.
trying to,
Was
I'm
it
trying to think.
Bob?
I feel like it was Bob episode 5, I believe, when he ratted Rob out, or I feel like it was the
No, unfortunately, that was episode 4. Episode 5 was Nikki.
Oh, whatever, Nikki. Oh yeah, the
even
Bambies.
worse.
The follow of the Bambies. The follow of the Bambies.
Still bad. Still bad. Still
Mhm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, it pays to be an episode 5 this year of a reality program. You know. But yes, it is episode 5 of The Amazing Race. We are all, a little upset.
A little.
Who would have thought on this podcast that we'd be upset about Mormon white parents of 8?
Yeah.
Who would have fucking thought on this here podcast that all 5 of us, because I can confirm, because Brandon and Lana aren't here. Lana's literally in mourning right now, I can tell y'all. That all 5 of us are in mourning over this elimination. Like,
what is it with orders getting screwed by weird twists on The Amazing Race? Like, genuinely.
In the 5th episode or in 5th place in the last 2 seasons.
It involves a 5. It just
Fuck
involves
the number
a
5. Fuck 5's drag. And this week on Drag Race, someone's gonna go home 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out the drag channel. And speaking
and
of,
if it's Anya, we're gonna riot.
It won't be.
Yeah,
but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. And you can check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, as well as our other YouTube channels and our Patreon for exclusive content and early access. Now we can dive into this episode where not much happens in like the first 15 minutes because we leave the pit stop and we are going to the Sacred Monkey Forest Sanctuary where everybody has to stop because it doesn't open till 8 a.m. because we have a live double U-turn vote.
So I'll talk about why this is an issue in a moment. Because once we see something else, I will directly talk about why this leg and the previous legs were not ones to equalize. Because, genuinely, equalizing the last 2 legs turned them from interesting dilemmas to determined paths.
Yeah, most definitely. The only 2 things we hear as far as storyline growth as we're going to the Monkey Sanctuary is, of course, from the only 2 teams we really hear anything from in this episode, and that's Anna and her partner and Scott and Lori. We find out that, unfortunately, Anna recently had suffered from an ectopic pregnancy. I don't remember how recently she had said prior to the race.
I believe she said it was a year ago when it happened.
Yeah, it was recent. It was recent enough to still be fresh in the memory. Yeah. And so being on the race was, really important for the family as a whole, and for her to gain some, some good, I don't know what word I'm trying to say. Some good juju. I don't know. Some good whatever.
Some storyline of like, we finally know kind of what their motivation is for running the race.
Yes.
And like versus the other duo.
Yes, which is Scott and Lori, who we found out have had major weight loss situations that have happened very recently, which work. Good for y'all. Love it. Love to see it.
70 pounds for Lori. 100 pounds for Scott. That is specifically for the race. That is incredible.
Yeah.
And it also explains why they have killed this race. Because, like, in order to do that, you have to do a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, like that whole process builds your stamina like nothing else. As someone on a bit of a weight loss journey myself, just a little bit, like my stamina has improved through working out. Like I've definitely noticed it. So it's been really nice. And like I related to them. So it was really nice to see like it's nice to see those kinds of stories. Like I like hearing, because not all weight loss stories are positive, and I love hearing positive weight loss stories. And everybody can be good in whatever skin they're in, and all bodies are beautiful always. But love everybody, every single body you're in, period. That's the point of the story. And I love where they're at. I love the journey that they're on. Another reason to love Scott and Lori. Damn it. I'm mad. But everybody starts catching up. Everybody starts popping in. You know, they're doing their thing. And everybody starts slowly trickling in. Jonathan and Anna get there first. And they're like, oh, we have a long wait. I think they had like 2.5 hours.
Basically 2.5.
That could have been extra 2 hours of sleep per me personally, no shade. 2 extra hours of sleep. That we was gonna do that.
Right. I'm like, let me just curl up on the can I curl up on the ground? Can we do that?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be good.
This was genuinely so weird. I mean, the one thing that we didn't mention is all of them stay in a house in Penguin Village, which is
which was stunning,
incredibly
beautiful.
Cool.
That was nice.
But they go into the house where it is like very clearly bright out and not at all like the time to sleep. So like they're getting, and then they wake back up and it's like 5, 6 in the morning. So
I think Jonathan and Anna left at like
4:58 a.m.
Right. Yeah. That didn't make any sense. We didn't have to wait that long if we were gonna do that.
Yeah, 4:58.
Like the time lapse.
4:58 and then Pops and Jeff were the last to leave at 6:05.
For just 2 hours.
Right.
I mean,
so
crazy.
They get led into the monkey sanctuary, which is cute. Cute little monkey sanctuary. Real cute, real lovely. They're walking through, doing their thing. And our good friend David has been there. I forgot. He did let us know. He was like, oh yeah. Because oh my God, I forgot. Hold on. I forgot we're in Bali again. I forgot the Bali fan.
It is.
I forgot the Bali fan.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Isn't it? Thank you, David. I love you, David. As Lana's not here, I have to rep as the only Bali fan person today. But yes. Yeah, David was like, oh, I've been there. And I was like, oh, cute.
Work.
But yes, they walk up and it's Scott and Lori in the front because of course they are. And they see Jeff and they're like, oh, hello, Jeffrey. Phil. Jesus Christ.
I was like, something about that felt wrong, but also Pops and Jeff are just on the season, and I thought I'd forgotten something.
Yeah, it has been a day and a half and an extra quarter, and then add another half on top of it.
Oh, Jesus.
Hi, Phil. Y'all know those kinds of days? Yeah, that's the kind of day I had today. They were like, oh, hi, Phil.
Mm-hmm.
And Phil brings them around. And we get a live double U-turn vote. And everyone's like, oh, shit.
Oh, well, that's
Well.
interesting.
Well.
And every team only gets one vote.
Mm.
I would have loved if every team had gotten 2 votes. I
That would've been-
think that would have added an increased layer of strategy, and I think we maybe would have ended up with a different outcome.
Yes, I think if both teams have 2 votes, then it's I don't know, because I mean the only other thing we have besides John besides someone and Anna pissing everyone off last episode is basically the bot everyone except for Anna, Carson and Jack and Scott and Lori basically arriving to the mat at the same time and going, Scott and Lori have been really weird this entire race, I can't lie.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we still probably get the exact same outcome.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason things changed up is because they had one.
Yeah, I think the only other scenario I see happening is I see a couple of votes, a couple more votes maybe going on Nick and Mike.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe a couple of votes landing on Carson and Jack. And or maybe a couple of votes landing on Alyssa and Josiah, because they have been doing very well. Alyssa and Josiah have been very good in this race, and I don't think a lot of people are recognizing just how good they're doing. I don't think I was recognizing just how good they were doing until I realized, oh, they're top 3, spoiler, they're top 3 in this leg again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh. And I forgot, they also won their half of the first leg. Like, they've won a leg. So, like, side note, I love how competitive this season has been.
It has.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even with the outcome of this episode especially, like, this season is so competitive.
Yeah, this cast, like, man, wow.
This cast is so good top to bottom that, like, casting, y'all did your big ones here.
It is genuinely like, oh, we didn't get to cast for a while. No, we're going to go crazy with the casting choices we have, especially with a season that is a lot more strategic than seasons have been in the past.
Yes. Oh, speaking of strategic, we need to get into these votes. First up, Brett and Mark. And they vote for Scott and Lori. They are the first to vote for Scott and Lori. And Scott and Lori are a little taken back.
They're like...
They're visibly like...
Oh. Well, that's
like...
And Mark comes out swinging, baby. And he is just like... Because they're a little confused and they're like, I just don't know why we're necessarily getting a vote. And Mark just goes, well, it's just because it seems like you're using, like, it just seems like you're nicey nice. And it seems like you're using your niceness and all of this kindness as a social strategy. And I was like, you better play that social strategy card, baby. You better. I was like, you better. Yes, Mark. And I didn't want him to because I like Scott and Lori a lot, but
Yeah,
also I
but
was like, yes, Mark.
he was right though.
He was
didn't
right
lie.
though. Like,
he was definitely right.
Here's my thing. You can't say, "Oh, we're slow at this," and then but just have just like your track record, your placement has been the opposite of what you're saying. So it's kind of like
was
you can't.
like the mathe baby.
It happens.
If they were at the back of the pack every leg, sure.
Sure.
But y'all have won how many legs? Y'all have been in the top 3 how many times? Top 3 every time?
Slow
No.
behind. Slow
Clock
my
that
behind.
T mark. Thank you. Like, I lived. But yeah, so then we get John and Anna. They throw a bit of a rogue vote for Nick and Mike, which, quite frankly, I was not upset at.
I
was not
wasn't
mad at
either.
this. Was hoping other people would follow on that bandwagon.
No, there's
Nobody
two very
else did.
strong teams. There's two ultra strong teams.
I think it was a road, but also at the same time, I think they kind of knew going into this, it was gonna be your turn, but they know that you know what, us might as well get prepared because we're gonna get your turn. Just like let me just get like a random vote. I think they already kind of knew like they already knew that they were gonna get your turn, so it doesn't matter what it did. They were all like it was gonna be us anyway, so they were just preparing, just mentally preparing for doing the U-turn. So that was just.
I more so meant rogue in the context of like nobody else voted for them, voted for Nick and Mike, but like their reasoning when they all like split off to do their thing was like, we need to get some of these guy teams out of here. Like the guy teams are dominating. There's only one guy team that has gone home, and it was respectfully the 2 oldest men in the competition, the 2 oldest people in the competition. And they went home first, like, which, it makes sense. Like, and of the guy teams, potentially the strongest is Nick and Mike. I would maybe disagree with that.
I disagree personally.
I would hard disagree with that.
Like, if they were going to go for a strong, all-male team, I would say Brett and Mark.
No, because actually Brett, I think people are actually not seeing it, but I think Brett and Mark actually kind of flying under the radar because let's be real.
I agree.
Cause what we have been seeing, they are some effing comp freaking beasts. They are killing it. And the thing is, now like that this twist has happened and we see the outcome, then kind of now slithered their way into the front of the pack. And I felt going for it is
exactly. And like they had been having some issues like the taxi situation we saw last leg, which put them towards the back of the pack. But if anyone had been paying attention to them at any of the detours, any of the roadblocks, they would have seen Brett and Mark slay through these challenges. It's just the auxiliary things, the getting to the detours and roadblocks, getting from place to place that has been their biggest struggle. But I agree with you completely, KaMorian. They've been doing a really, really good job at kind of coasting through the middle, doing what they need to do to get through the early part of the race. And I think now that they're in the front of the pack, if they can hold at the front of the pack for a while, they're golden until the end of the race.
Like for me, it has to be no more mishaps. There's no more mistakes. They cannot really fall in a mistake again. I think that's gonna hurt them. So they gotta be.
But with all the twists this season, who knows? Genuinely, Pops and Jeff throw a vote at John and Anna. Sure. Han and Holden vote for Scott and Lori. Sure. Melinda and Erica vote for Scott and Lori. That one, I gotta be honest, of all of the votes, that one surprised me the most.
I think it was reasonable because you remember when it came to the driver's seat, I think John and they gave them the less amount. So it's kind of like,
I just thought maybe they would go for a guy team.
True that.
I don't know. Like, I didn't think specifically Melinda would want to go for an older team, honestly, because we had seen them, we hadn't seen them specifically working with Scott and Lori at any point really in the race, but we had seen them work with Pops and Jeff, and we had seen, them all advocating to keep the older contestants in the race. So I would have thought, I didn't think they would vote for John and Anna for sure because of what happened in the driver's seat. But I definitely thought maybe they would have thrown a vote on someone like a Nick and Mike or a Carson and Jack. But I was a little surprised to see Scott and Lori there. Carson and Jack vote for John and Anna. Nick and Mike vote for Scott and Lori. Alyssa and Josiah vote for John and Anna. And Scott and Lori also vote for John and Anna. To nobody's surprise, and I'm going to take it down because it blocks KaMorian. Scott and Lori, John and Anna are double U-turn teams. To nobody's surprise. That's what we all expected going into the double U-turn. Sure. Makes sense. And now we get the rest of the leg where it's kind of frustrating.
I'm just figuring out when to talk about it because I think this is one of the worst design legs I have ever seen. Because even more than last leg, this leg was so deterministic on basically twist screwing a team. There was almost no shot because of all of the intentional decisions behind this leg that one of the two U-turn teams doesn't go home. Like, it's not even close.
So here's the problem. Because I agree with you completely. Bali is only just over 2,000 square miles. Ain't much to do in Bali.
Then leave Bali.
Agreed. If they had spread this leg, do a leg in Bali for sure. Obviously, love Bali. Big fan of Bali. But then if you don't have enough material in Bali, do a leg somewhere else in Indonesia. Do a mega leg. Do a mega leg. Like, do something. Do a mega leg with a double U-turn. I don't know. Twist it up. Y'all are doing all kinds of twists this season.
Yeah.
I don't care. Do something. Do something, Charlie. Do something. Like, I would have loved, like, there's so many other beautiful parts of Indonesia. And I don't know. It might have been a tourism thing. It might have been, like,
it was definitely a tourism thing.
Like they may not have been able to do other things in other areas of Indonesia. I don't know what the circumstances were. If they just want to do things in Bali, whatever. Point being, if you don't have enough things to do in Bali where you have to do it in such a close proximity, don't do everything in Bali or don't do two legs in Bali.
Yeah, no, this was...
Because this is where we go to the detour, so I think this is the best place to talk about it. So
it's not even only the detour. The detour, the roadblock, and the pit stop are within walking distance of each other. There is almost zero time for the two teams who have to do the U-turn to catch up. Especially because the roadblock is not time consuming. And one of the detour options, it's either grunt work or very precise eye detail. And those both take a good amount of time. You're not really going to be able to blast past one on any of them. So I mean, I genuinely am annoyed by how this leg came together because it just doesn't work. And this is a very dramatic thing because it is off of the off of the driver's seat, which already last episode, we basically gave John and Anna the driver's seat because they were first place in the previous episode and there was no way for them to pass them. They equalized it, but they still gave them an incredible lead. Like, I don't know what has happened in these past 2 legs that has just screwed up the Amazing Races format, but the twists were so deterministic that it didn't provide anything other than, yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's unfortunate.
Like, unless someone really couldn't get the coral, or like broke their leg transporting coconuts, or like really could not find their match at the roadblock. Like it felt very. I agree with you. It felt very deterministic. Is the best word for it, Jack. I agree completely. It felt out of form, and the first 3 episodes of this season felt very fluid and felt very true to form. So it felt very interesting to have this almost like this block. It was it's been a very interesting tonal shift for sure. But I guess let's talk about the detour. Coral or coconuts? In coconuts, teams had to transport coconuts using just a bicycle.
Jesus Christ.
Just a bicycle.
Just a bicycle. That's all you need.
The classic coconut transporting device. A bicycle. And then stack it up a very specific way, which proved to be very difficult for some people. Somehow. For some reason. And then we had coral, where teams had to tie coral to a spindly thing, which proved to be very difficult for some people. For some reason. Okay. An interesting set of detour tasks, I will say.
It is. It is hard grunt work versus grunt work, but if you strategize right, you can cut down on a pretty massive portion.
Which only 2 teams did. Only 2.
Yeah.
And then a pretty nice attention to detail task.
Yeah.
Now, would y'all be doing coconuts or coral?
Well, I mean, it's literally one option. I can't swim, so coconut's the hard labor.
Same.
I can't swim.
So KaMorian and I are doing some coconuts.
Okay, I don't care. And guess what?
And I'm looking at you, Logan, and saying you're putting on a goddamn life vest because we're doing coral.
No! Oh, wait, I'll just do what Lori did and just get, like, in the water. Because that still counted. And I was like, okay, I'm in the water. I'm in the water. No, because that's the task I would actually pick. Because that attention to detail is definitely better for me. I'll just be like, ooh. Just in the water. Just in the water.
And I would have did what Let's Decide did was very smart for me. I would have did 30 for each for 2 times, but instead of like trying to rush, I just cut just walking pace. I think just walking pace.
Right, like I don't know why. Like you know who frustrated me?
It was Hannah Holden for me, and Mike.
It was Nick and Mike for me.
It was them too. It was 15 and 20. I'm like 15, 20. You're making all these trips for nothing. It's just crazy.
Like, baby, why are y'all doing your last trip for 6 coconuts? Throw those damn coconuts on the fucking bike.
Thanks, man.
For what reason? And then the way Nick and Mike struggled so fiercely with stacking coconuts.
Wow.
I was like, keep struggling. Keep struggling. Struggle so much that you go home.
Oh my God.
Not that I'm rooting for the downfall of your draft team, Jack, but I would have much rather lost them than Scott and Lori.
No, I'm with you. I'm basically I would have rather have lost like half these teams over Scott and Lori. I'm going to be so honest.
I agree.
Oh man. And for real, like what Nick and Mike is, they per me, I don't know, they just have been giving, and plus, and they have been pretty much for 5 episodes straight, been like in the bottom of the pack for like 5 episodes straight.
They're not
good.
good.
Doing well.
They're not good. I don't know how they're still here.
Yeah,
honestly,
I believe they were like the second to last team when it all came together last episode. Probably just with like the last team, and then they were eighth. They were always like second, third to last all the time. I think it was they were eighth, probably just for ninth.
5th, 10th, 8th, 7th.
And exactly, they've been pretty much the bottom tier. The bottom tier.
They very much have been floating along this entire race.
Literally, Brett and Mark last episode was 40 minutes behind on a taxi, and they came in 7th, and they're like, what is going on?
For what reason?
What is going
on? So as far as other than the non-U-turned teams, obviously, who had to do both, we only had the gays.
The gay.
Decided to do coral. And then everybody else did coconuts. Scott and Lori decided to do coconuts first, and then Jonathan and Anna decided to do coral first. I really liked Scott and Lori's strategy for doing coconuts first, getting the manual labor task out of the way.
Exactly. And then cooling down and just
focusing. They did the same thing that Alyssa and Josiah did. They just had like the 30 and then the 30, and they worked it out.
Yeah,
they did incredible.
They just got to the damn detour last. Like, that's just what it was.
It really was. Cause the thing with the end thing was when they went right to the core, they didn't pay to just like, you know what, put the core on there, that's it. They really didn't really even go to look and actually focus on it. It was like, cut these things.
Even though Carson and Jack said to pay attention to
they did.
They did. It was so weird because they're mentioning it like this entire time. And like
it's listen.
And I'm like, that express pass would have been handy right now. It would have been handy for you right now.
The way I wanted retribution. I wanted retribution for them wasting their express pass last episode.
Yes.
I did too.
I wanted it so bad, and then we didn't get it, and I was so upset.
And then we didn't get it.
We almost did. We almost
did, and I was very upset that we didn't get it. But I was not upset about the gays being the first two teams out of the detour. Period. So they are the first two teams out, headed to Nusa Dua Beach. And then we have Alyssa and Josiah and Pops and Jeff are the first two teams out of coconuts. They're shortly behind. Everybody's kind of flowing. It's almost like single file out of the detour. Like this leg was very single file the way that people were leaving. Which then leads us to the roadblock. Who's ready to meet their match? In this roadblock, teams had to choose a surfboard, paddle out into the surf, and find a surfer with the identical board decal before receiving their next clue. How fun! A matching roadblock. This would have been great for me, except I can't swim.
This would have been me because I have paddleboarded, I have boogie boarded. Like
you.
This is
the moment we walked up and I said,
"Oh,
water?
Weird!
It's
There's people out in the water. There's an enormous amount of people out in the water. We're good. Cool. We're good. I'll just take off my shirt really quick."
It's Jack. No, but then everyone had to put on the thing. I was like, low key, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, does Brett have to?
Oh my god. Jesus, Logan, Jesus.
No, Brett and Mark actually put both of them together. Well, bam.
Please.
Moving on.
But it was kind of cute to see like the gay just like Carson and Mark just conversating while Jack and Brett.
Oh my god, the way that they were both like, oh, we're both on the Amazing Race right now, but it just kind of feels like, oh, we're just on the gay beach, and I was like, oh yes, yes, the gays. I love it. I love when the gays are dominating.
Personally, I feel like one of, I think the gays are gonna win the season. It's one of them. Personally, that's how I see it. One of them's gonna win.
More gays winning Amazing Race.
Like that's how we're seeing it. One of them to winning. Like
I would like to see it.
I want to see it too. That's what it's giving so far.
Justice for Courtney and Jasmine.
Yes.
Yep.
Justice for Courtney and Jasmine.
I mean, if Carson and Jack somehow win this, it will be 2 male gay teams from New York City winning back-to-back.
Shut the fuck up. Wow. And if Brett and Mark win, it would be 2 male gay teams winning in a row. Married.
Male engaged.
Male teams.
Yes.
Teams. That is.
Yay.
Yay.
Yay. Woo gay. Gay. Anyway.
We went moving on and then just continued for an extra 3 minutes.
Anyway. Yeah, so they're both kind of battling it out, doing their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Brett spots it. And then Brett gets it. He cracks the code. He gets his decal. He comes back in first, gets his clue. They are headed to the roadblock, or not the roadblock, the pit stop, which is the Taksu art stage at the beach that they're in. Which apparently, according to the first Google search they did, was 30-minute walking distance away, but clearly wasn't.
Yeah, it's weird. It's basically, imagine it almost like the end of a boardwalk. This whole leg is basically set up on a single strip of beach that teams just walk up and down.
It's a straight line.
That is crazy.
It's a straight line. No. No.
Crazy.
But Carson and Jack follow very shortly behind. But the winner of the leg, for the first time this season, it's Brett and Mark!
Congratulations! Yeah. I'm so happy. I feel like this is like their breakthrough moment. Yes. I feel like they needed to have this. I thought this is a reassurance. Like y'all got this. Is like pretty much Jack can win this whole thing. Pretty much now. Y'all just cannot have any means make sure you hold the GPS on your phone. Don't let the driver hold it anymore. Because that would just
confiscate your taxi driver's GPS from now on.
Take it from them,
please. Hi, I'm gonna need that GPS. Thank you. I will pay you. I'll pay you a little extra. Thank you very much. I'm gonna need to make sure this is a race for $1 million. Giving your contact information. I will pay you retribution in the future when you help me win $1 million. Thank you very much.
Exactly. Like that's really all they need. Like I'm kind of like a person. I really do feel like there would actually be like really with like where Carson with all of them at the top had not been those mishaps happen. I feel like it would have been like that the whole time so far. But it just eventually those things happen, which pushed them back into the middle every single time. So, but now, like, I'm kind of like, I go for it just consistently because, I was doing it down. Just one mistake could put you in last. So it's kind of like, they got it. You just can't, you got to just be on, you got to direction.
They're finally settling into it. They're confident in their skills.
Exactly.
They know what they need to do. And now they're in the top. They just got to keep the consistency. So,
exactly.
Yay, Brett and Mark.
I'm happy for
them.
Yes.
And then shortly behind them, in second place, Carson and Jack.
Yay!
Yes.
Gays in the top, period.
Yes.
It's what they deserve. Very closely behind, in third, Josiah kills the roadblock very quickly. And they snatch up another top 3 performance.
No, this team, I feel like this team can actually, like, I'm gonna still keep an eye on them. I feel like, to me, after this episode, I feel like I'm still making like the top 3 like finale.
How have they done? First, third, 7th, 5th, 3rd. So they're back on an upswing, which is real good.
So their team has been doing like decent, like really good. Like I just love them. They're so sweet together. There's the heart.
Definitely. Yeah, I didn't love them at the start. I gotta be honest. I was just like, I don't know about these two. I'm really starting to like them. I would like to know a little bit more about them personally. But as far as their characters on this show, they're sweet and lovely. They're sweet and lovely. When Alyssa fell last episode, I was like, oh, I hope she's okay. And it seems like she is. So work. Fourth, Pops also killing this roadblock. I was a little bit nervous when they chose him for the roadblock, and so was Jeff.
Yep.
I was nervous. I was concerned. But he sails through, and they get 4th. Yeah,
the best placement. I'm so happy for them.
I hope that they are now the team on the rise. I would like to see them capitalize on this and start heading more into top of the pack things. I am worried given the trailer for next week.
Oh, yes.
I am very worried given the trailer for next week, but I am manifesting that this means higher placements for Pops and Jeff. Higher placements. Yes, I'm hoping. In team number 5 ends up being Han and Holden because Han is a surfer.
Yeah.
I mean, slay.
I mean, literally, Han,
like, I'm just swimming.
On the way back, Han straight up catches a wave. Like,
iconic!
That iconic.
Iconic, girl!
It was your moment, and you had it. This is your moment.
You had that. Han, you get your 10s for that one, baby. That was good.
Incredible. Just like, and she's just slaying on a challenge where that was not at all the point. And then next week, there's seemingly some sort of surfing challenge.
Everything, and it's over.
She's an icon. She's a legend, and she is the moment. Now, come on now. Period.
Like I gotta give it to like they're actually like doing. They actually go like on an upwards trajectory. Like they're
consistent. They're getting to a consistent place. They're getting to a consistent place. I like them. I like that. They've learned how to work well together.
Exactly.
They learned what Bernie and Kerrigan needed to learn. No shade, girls. No shade. But they learned what Bernie and Kerrigan needed to learn about each other. But yes, very happy for them. 6th, surprising themselves every day by gaining a placement somehow because someone gets lost. It's mothers Melinda and Erica.
I love that. I mean,
I love them.
I love them so much. They're like, oh, we're not done? Wow, that's
we're not surprising. Last?
Huh.
Oh.
When you think about it, I think they also have the most trips too, but the thing is, done with the most trips is logical for a reason. So if it's them to like do that and still be in 6th, like that's still impressive for me. And I love them.
It was a difficult leg for them. Like like I'm surprised they went coconuts. I really am. Like I really thought they would have done the coral detour. I guess attention to detail isn't their forte. But they did the Pajagon last episode, which is an attention to detail task. So I don't really know. Like I
think that one you can kind of like ignore. The issue is that all of the up to this point, a lot of the attention to detail tasks have had like caveats on the other side. Pajagon was basically impossible if you didn't have a second team working with you. No one could complete Fling It. Like,
that was horrible.
Keep getting attention to detail tasks, but it's not really because they're intending to.
It does. It's the better option personally. No shade. No shade.
Definitely. But yes, they get 6th. Closely behind, Nick and Mike end up in 7th. I do also want to say I am, and I said it a couple weeks now, I am dangerously worried about the point in time, and it's going to come very soon, when Erica is out of roadblocks.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you do have a limit. Oh,
because she's at 4 now, I believe.
They wanted Melinda to do this roadblock, but because they chose coconuts, Melinda didn't have the energy.
Yeah, they're at 4-1 right now because the only roadblock Melinda's done so far was last week.
True.
So they gotta hope that there is some other like needle in a haystack kind of roadblock coming up that is going to be easy enough to perceive before they do it, so that Melinda will be able to do it, because otherwise I think the limit is 7.
It is typically 7. Yes.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to. Oh, they're gonna have to do some. If it's a flight situation from Bali to Dubai, they're gonna have to really hope that they can get like a good boost with the flight, and if they do, they're probably gonna have to throw Melinda into the roadblock regardless of what it is.
Yes,
probably. I think I saw it was surfing next episode. They're definitely like skydiving out of a plane. That was like one of the I think they were skydiving.
If it's a skydiving roadblock, they're gonna have to just have Melinda do it because that's easy enough for her to do.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if that was a roadblock. I'm gonna be real honest. It could just be route
But I
info.
saw some teams on the ground, so that may have been half of teams, or that might have just been full teams. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I am worried about them though, because I would like to see them go as far as possible. I'm hoping that skydiving is the roadblock.
Yeah,
I'm hoping, but yeah, Nick and Mike come in 7th. Nobody's surprised by that. You know, they did have what did who was it? One of them had something going on. Nick had did he get a frond in his eye?
Nick, during the last challenge where they had to shuck the rice, I'm not at all sure if that's the right thing. One of the greens managed to just boop right into his eye. So his eye was irritated.
Oh, well, I don't wish that on anyone.
It sounds like a nightmare situation. I'm so sorry. That
horrible.
No.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. But they do come in 7th, and then it is quite possibly the most anticlimactic end of the episode for a double U-turn that could have happened. You have Jonathan and Anna who leave the double detour first. Jonathan is absolutely gassed. Like, he's done. He is not, like, they literally stop he keeps going. They leave first. They're walking out to the roadblock. He's irritable, not being the kindest to his wife. It was going to the roadblock and going to the pit stop, right?
For me, what it kind of started for me, it was actually what it was. I just got done with the swimming test. It was doing the coconuts. I think when he first starts, like I think it was like after they were done with the core. I think when they the coconuts, I think he started experiencing pain and stuff. And then when it came to the coconuts, I think we were trying to stack them up. It was like da da da. It was like, oh, Anna, hold the bike, hold this with the coconuts. Like, and I'm like, do you really expect her to hold the bike full of coconuts by herself? And was literally getting irritated off of that. I was like,
he's being a little bitch.
He
is the point.
And even pissing off that like she's still being reassuring. She's encouraging you throughout the pain. She at least let me have some rest. Like she's at least being there for you, and you're not taking it. I understand like he was in pain. I understand him at the same time is like be encouraging. Like she's encouraging your wife is trying to be your wife, supporting you, and you're just shutting her off. Which to me is like why? It's like why? And personally, all Tino said, I really want him to just lay down on the surfboard and not move. I really want to just lay down in the water.
Right.
No vacation.
I'm like, gas out. That's
literally. I genuinely thought by how this episode was being portrayed, we were about to see a medical DQ of Jonathan just being unable to finish the leg, and Scott and Lori survive simply by the fact that Jonathan is out. Like he's physically unwell.
And I feel like I think even because of it, just him just being so pissed about like, we're losing, we're definitely I feel like it was just all that. And I mean, I'm all to understand. I feel like this was to me. I hope this was a humbling and moment for him to realize that we're like you're not being the best husband right now. You're not being a supporter to your wife, who's literally throughout the pain being there for you. Like I feel like y'all need to have a talk personally. You need to apologize and own your mistakes and be a better husband, because I think y'all were already separated. Like if you continue to do this, you're gonna be separated for good, and you're gonna affect your family. Y'all have been through so much. Literally, Anna tell her like she's like y'all have been through so much throughout that, and y'all still together. But you're not showing that by being a supporter to her throughout all the stress, all that stuff. You're not at least be like, thank you so much. Like I love you for that. Thank you for being there for me. I appreciate it. I needed that. But it's like no, really don't piss me off. Literally, when he found the decal, he was like this. I'm like, and you don't swim, because there goes Scott. And Lord, Scott is like, I'm going. It ain't over. And it's like, babe, it's like, come on, babe, you got this. Run, just move, babe. It's like, no, I'm gonna walk. Let me just walk. Come on, walk. Actually, I'm gonna put my shoes on over here. Like, can I put my shoes on? Can I do that? Can I do that? Really?
I was like, did we manifest it last week where we were talking about the person that stopped to go to the bathroom and got eliminated? I'm like,
yeah,
he's gonna stop to put on his shoes and he gets eliminated. But no, it's literally like we have Jonathan and we have Scott out in the Balinese waters, floating, not even swimming. I would not call any of this swimming. Floating on surfboards, trying to match decals. And Jonathan matches his first, and they just start slowly coming to shore. And then Scott matches his. They start slowly coming into shore. Meanwhile, you have Anna and Lori literally just having two completely opposite reactions. And I do love that as soon as Jonathan and Anna were leaving, that Anna and Lori did hug, and it was it was a respect thing, and I loved that moment. That was such a good moment. I loved that moment.
I think almost from the beginning of the leg, both of them knew that one of them was
It
going
was going to be
home,
one of them.
and it was
Wow.
going to be a race to figure out who could get it done fastest. And
Yeah.
that sucked because it was like, wow, both
Yeah.
teams that have been front runners throughout a good portion of this game
I'm getting cut right here.
are
and
getting cut, and it's not even like fully their fault. Like, yes, they've been in the front, but the reason they're now in the bottom two is partially just because the game designers put them there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's almost no chance for them to catch up unless they did the detours perfectly.
Exactly.
They would have needed like at least one, maybe two teams to stumble. And unfortunately for both teams, no one really stumbled.
Mm-hmm.
But Jonathan and Anna do make it. They are team number 8. And somehow Scott and Lori are eliminated.
Yeah.
The
No,
gag of the
genuinely, like, I mean, we can even see it in the averages, just like in general.
Like, I was like, oh, like, dang, like, they were just doing freaking amazing. Like, they were just doing so, like, I'm so gutted for them because they're like, they started like in the back, and then just like the past like 3 or 4 episodes just have been killing it every single time. Just the teamwork, communication of just a perfect, amazing showcase of that. And now it's like, dang, now they're gone because just and the thing is, we can't hit the player, we hate the game. I mean, gameplay was used. It's just unfortunate they did that way. It's just unfortunate. I can hit the player, hit the game. The game sucks. The twist sucked. You suck.
Not
twist.
all the twists suck. This one was just bad.
The U-turn sucked. Screw you, U-turn. Double U-turn. Screw you. Screw you.
And once again, I don't even think it's the fact that a double U-turn is such a big issue. Double U-turns can make it really interesting.
True.
It's just that in this specific case, there was almost nothing outside of the double U-turn that made teams swap positions on this leg.
Exactly.
Double U-turns work in a large city.
Yeah.
Double U-turns do not work in a small confined area.
Yeah.
That's just
the
what
issue.
it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah.
But Scott and Lori.
Hope was it All-Stars that they can come back.
I was gonna say,
of all teams to pull back for an All-Stars, one, they've already been pulled back for a different CBS show on a one-off to represent the season. Like, the team loves them, very obviously. And that was clearly compensation for, like, you got screwed kind of by us. Here's some shot at additional money.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, Jack.
Well, KaMorian.
Oh, well, Logan.
Well, Jack.
Well, KaMorian.
Well, Logan.
Well, Jack.
Oh.
I decided to take a draft team, and then I got murdered.
Yeah, you did.
What god did I piss off?
I don't know, but none of us, I don't think a single one of us would have gone truly, knowing it was a double U-turn vote. I don't think any of us would have predicted that Scott and Lori would have gone home.
No.
Not a goddamn one of us. But
a 3.6 leg average compared to every other team being 7 or 8. Like,
the next closest is both of the teams that went home first.
And that's only because
they placed 7th.
Because they placed 7th on a split leg. Like, Yeah, no. I mean,
their track record is literally 3, 2, 1, 3 eliminated. If y'all are doing Amazing Race 40 and it's second chances, it's all-stars, it's something,
bring them back immediately.
bring them back.
Mm.
Bring them back. Hello. Meanwhile, I'm very happy with my draft team all being in the top 4. So.
I'm like, it really looks like it's gonna be Logan versus Brandon for the end.
It really is. It's gonna be Logan versus Brandon,
featuring maybe Lana.
Maybe
Lana. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It genuinely is just how some of the legs turn out.
Yeah, these twists later. I feel like we might get a mega leg soon. Hopefully, I think it's coming soon.
I would love a mega leg.
Definitely.
We've said it, and I would love, especially because they're debuting Bulgaria. I think a mega leg in Bulgaria would be so fun. Show off the new country you've never been to before by doing a mega leg. That sounds so fun and lovely and wonderful and fantastic.
We have 2 episodes in Bulgaria.
I actually liking that, like, every country they go to, we at least get 2 episodes. So we do take majority of the time in the country, like just going different places. So I really am liking like 2 episodes per country, which I'm liking.
But the next country we go to, we don't get 2 episodes, and we only get 1. We only get 1 episode in Dubai.
I definitely feel like this is a thing of like, what else are we gonna do? Like, Dubai's the only thing that people care about.
Yeah, I'm
from
fine.
An American
There's only 1 leg in Dubai. Like, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. Like, whatever.
We also do have the fast forward next leg.
Ooh.
So do you think the surfing is the fast forward?
I don't think they showed the fast forward. I feel like there were too many teams doing both things that there's going to be some there. Either A, fast forward is not going to get used, or B, a team like Brett and Mark or Carson and Jack grab the fast forward, do it, and there's nothing any other team can do about it, and they just get to skip to the end of the leg, and they're basically just done for the episode early.
True.
Like, that's my guess as to what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, the only reason I said that is because I remember there was a leg. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember that they did a fast forward. It was some European country, and it was literally like a wave surfing thing. And so many people struggled with it. So I'm like, I wonder if it's that kind of similar thing. I don't know. But
let me check, because I'm like 90% confident. Nope, that's not it. But yeah, I mean, I remember the exact same thing that you do.
Yeah. But for me in person, I feel like the next couple to probably go. I don't want to jinx Jack, but I think it's gonna be Nick and Mike. That's how I see it personally. I just feel like they just have been the overall. I think what we have left for me just by track overall, that's like the weakest team as of right now. But anything can happen. We see Pop. I think Jeff. I think it's the elevator got closed on Jeff and he got pissed. So I'm not sure, but I'm worried about them personally as well. But I'm excited. This Dubai, and I'm not gonna lie, I want them out so bad. I think Jonathan and they might come back strong from what I'm seeing.
I don't want to completely eliminate Jack's draft team immediately after they drafted, but I would like to see Nick and Mike go next.
Yeah, no, that's very I didn't draft the remainders because of Nick and Mike. At this point, it's like, yeah, no, that's fair. Take them out.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, with that being said, I think that's where we leave off for this episode. So, thank you so much for joining us for this lovely, wonderful, and fantastic, tumultuous episode 5 recap of The Amazing Race. Let us know all your thoughts down in the comments below about this episode, all of the fabulous, wonderful, and fantastic things Let us know all your thoughts. Are you sad about Scott and Lori? What did you think of the double U-turn? Who would you have voted for in the double U-turn? Why was it Jonathan and Nana? Make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, as well as our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup, mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers, racers.
Cheers.
Bye.